Welcome to this presentation on crowdsourcing and its relation to communication design. Over the years, I've heard the term used in conjunction with another dirty word, spec work, both usually followed by exploitatives and condemnation. However, I didn't know exactly what crowdsourcing meant or why it was such a controversial topic, and only AIGA told me that it was bad. And based on hearsay and other opinions, I agreed. However, I'm taking this opportunity to discover a clear definition of crowdsourcing and explore what the fuss is all about. This concept map is a guide to help me ask and answer questions about crowdsourcing. Questions such as, does crowdsourcing foster and encourage an influx of unskilled designers and misguided clients? Does it degrade the profession with a low appreciation of misunderstanding the creative process? And what impact does crowdsourcing have educationally and professionally? Let's take a look at the definition of crowdsourcing. In 2006, Jeff Howe, contributing editor of Wired magazine, penned The Rise of Crowdsourcing, in which he coined the infamous phrase. He defined it as the outsourcing of work to an unspecified network of people through an open call format. And thanks to the internet, companies and/or individuals could obtain desired services, products, and even financial support from virtually anyone, anywhere. After the article's debut, some heralded Jeff and crowdsourcing as king. Others, not so much. So far, the research I've found through many of the articles, blogs, and op-ed pieces written against crowdsourcing and crowdsourcing site reveal that the issue is not really with crowdsourcing itself, but the crowdsourcing of design work. Many in the professional design community warn that crowdsourcing design work, or crowd creating, is creating a negative impact. Sites such as Crowdspring, Logos.com, and Elance.com allow customers to post a design brief via contest or open call. Hundreds of designers then bid or submit their work to the client. The winning design is chosen and the designer gets paid. Richard Griffey, AIGA Executive Director, writes that the client-designer relationship is diminished and robbed of meaningful collaborative interaction. A real lasting design strategy solution cannot be reached by simply posting design briefs online. And he argues that those who purchase design through crowdsourcing, in essence, treats design as a commodity, and it is a lack of respect for the value of design. Griffey also admits that there will always be a client that just wants a decorative mark, and the case against crowdsourcing and those who support it is lost. Adrian Messineri, a professor at the University of Illinois, Chicago, explores the friction that crowdsourcing has generated between professionals and DIY designers. She points out the potential legal and ethical issues sites such as 99 Designs and Design Crowd pose for designers and clients. Ethical issues such as low compensation will inevitably lower the quality of work, which is another valid concern within the design community. She cites through her research that compensation for design work on crowdsourced sites is noticeably lower. Copyright and intellectual property rights are also major legal issues that Messineri points out. Many crowdsourcing companies elect not to allow designers to keep creative rights to the works they've submitted, thus creating a legal tug-of-war at the end of the project. Other issues uncovered in research included, but not limited to, unfair compensation, influx of inexperienced designers, the potential unethical practices of design contests, and exploitation of young and up-and-coming designers are all a part of a list against crowdsourcing. However, Alec Lynch, founder of Design Crowd, defends his company and crowdsourcing. In a 2013 interview with tech writer Phil Simon, Lynch states that Design Crowd is meeting the need that traditional design firms and designers aren't meeting. He contends that design does not have to be expensive, nor should it take a slow process to achieve a desired outcome. At its best, the traditional model is risky, as there isn't a guarantee that the end result will be good. He also states that it's an opportunity for up-and-coming designers to break into a business already saturated with more well-known and established firms and designers. Design Crowd and crowdsourcing design solves that issue for both the client and the designer. There is an overwhelming amount of sources found so far that preach against crowdsourced design and contests, which leads me to ask, is crowdsourcing really all that bad? When and where is crowdsourcing design appropriate? What are the opportunities where crowdsourcing or crowd creation could be useful? These are the answers I intend to investigate in my next paper. Stay tuned.